doing this morning? My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. This is Tuesday morning of our daily draw. On Tuesdays, we always look at something man-made. So let me get this rolling here. Today, what we're going to look at is drawing fences, and it's something that I don't know if I've specifically covered it before, but it is definitely worth repeating, because I'm going to show you how to draw a fence properly in perspective, and then we'll jump into drawing some really nice garden gates out of wood. Okay, so this is a very helpful tool that I'm going to show you when it comes to drawing a fence. Okay, let's before we do that, let's take a look at this here. Now we've talked about this in the past before. If you have a box, all right, to find the center of that box, all we do is connect the corners, and that gives us the dead center of that box. Okay, all right. We've talked about that quite a bit. We've also talked about the idea that if that box were in perspective like this, okay, remember this is fanning out, we could do the same thing and draw an X on the corners, and that is the center of that box in perspective. Let's look at this idea. Let's pretend like we have a post. There's a post there. And there's another post right there, okay? And let's say we're going to string some bob wire in between there. I was like, okay, this is no big deal. This is pretty easy. We could just put a string across, right? And then along this bob wire, you could just kind of make some X's, and that's going to give a sense that that is like a bob wire fence, all right? So if we're drawing this fence and we wanted to draw another post, at this view right here, all we would do is just match this distance. We would use that same distance, okay? And we can just eyeball that. But the problem happens is when we take this into perspective. So let's say I have a post here. Okay, this is arbitrary. I can put that wherever I want. I can make that as big as I want, right? Now I'm going to put my second post in, and this is also arbitrary, okay? I could put that post wherever I want, okay? Now, since this is going back in perspective, I'm going to call this A, and I'm going to call this B. Since this is going back in perspective, I want to make post B a little bit smaller than A. That's reasonable, because it's going back in perspective, and the further something gets away with us, the smaller it gets, all right? So what I could do is I could just draw a line just like that, and then I could draw a line just like this, you see? Okay, so that right there is the vanishing point. That's where this fence is heading, okay, back in perspective. But here's the trick. How do I know where, let's just say I was going to draw post number C, and I want to make sure C is in perspective. Now this is where I've got to use this trick in order to get the C post properly placed. If I take B and I estimate where the center is. Okay, that's about the center of the post. And I could either go from so that's the first thing I want to do, is find the center of B. Then I could either go from the top of A or the bottom, it doesn't matter. And if I draw a line right through the center of B, this is where my next post will go. All right? That is proper perspective. And we could do that again. This is C now, so let's let's find the center here. The center is going to be right about there. And we can go from the bottom if we want. And we go right through the center. Okay, that's where the next post is going to go. Find the center. Okay, that's where the next post. Find the center. Find the center. And as you can see, as I keep doing that through the process, I keep putting these posts. They're going back in perspective. They're properly distanced. You see that? Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa! Time out, time out. Hey, I hope that you're enjoying drawing these fences, and I bet you've got a new trick up your sleeve. Well, listen, do me a favor, jump down there, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, or better yet, in the comments, let me know if you would like me to show you some videos how to draw buildings and houses using the same method, okay? All right. Hey, thanks for watching. All right, let's try it again. Let's do it again. Let's start with, let's go with this. Let's go with another post right there. That's arbitrary. We'll call him A. And then we're going to put another one right back over here. This is going to be B. All right? So we can draw a line like that. Draw a line like that. Find the halfway point. It's going to be right about there. And this time, let's do it using the top of the post. So this is going to come down there. Okay, look at that. Find the center point. Find the center point. Find the center point. Oop. So once again, this also works by going from the top of the post, drawing at an angle through the center of the next one. So this is how you essentially will draw a post, a line of fences that are going back into perspective. All right. All right, let's bring up a picture here. This is a good picture here. All right, look at that. So let's start with this guy right there. All right, so I'm going to make this picture just a little bit smaller. All right, so we're going to start with this post right there. So we have a post. Now I'm just going to guesstimate. I'm just going to guesstimate this distance. All right. Just going to guess. It's just about right there, okay? And the height is not quite as severe as I was making it in my examples, but there you go, something like that, all right? Now, I'm just going to kind of visualize, visualize the top of these posts, and then I could see it ends right about there. That's the guy in the far distance there, okay? And then there's a nice curve going here because the land is curved in a way. Well, even if it's slightly curved, I could still use this process to get it locked in. Let's go from the top there. So there's the middle. Okay, there's my next post there. There's the middle. Okay, there's the middle. There's the middle. And there you go. So you could see as we keep adding to our as we keep adding to our post, you could see what's happening. They're getting closer and closer. So then we can go in and draw some of these other beams. All right, so we've got this going here. And I could continue on if I wanted to. And then this has these X's. They've used these beams to do this sort of thing. So just keep connecting the corners. And that is how you would draw this post, this fence here. So the first, just remember, the first post you draw is arbitrary. It's up to you. The second one you draw is also up to you. But then once you establish that distance, then you're locked in, okay? All right, let's look at another picture here. Look at this one here. Okay, same thing here. This is going in the opposite direction. So let's start off with a post over here. And let's get the let's kind of get this angle, right? Right? It's going to go like this. All right, that's kind of what I'm looking at there. All right, so this, I'm going to guess the second post position just about like that. All right, let's find the halfway point right about there. Okay, there that is. Get the halfway point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we gotta do one more. There's the last one right there. Now, you might notice that that distance is a little more foreshortened than mine, and the reason because of that is when I determine where the distance between these two posts is a lot more narrower than between these guys here. You see that? Now, if I was to draw one more, then it would get a lot more foreshortened if I was to add one more post to this. So let's take a look at now. Let's find the halfway point between here. That's going to be my halfway point. Halfway point right there. And let's draw a line. So how do we get all these beautiful planks of wood just all perfectly lined up? Well, your brain, we've discussed this, is that your brain constantly is able to half something very easily. So Find the half there. Find the half there. Okay, same thing down here. Go with halves. All right, and we can do that again. Find the half. Same thing here. So there you go. There is a very systematic way that you can draw a fence in perspective. And like I said before, this is post A and post B. Those are really the only two posts that you can kind of have some freedom as far as where you're going to put them. But after that, then everything kind of falls into place. All right, let's look at now. Let's take that and make an actual an interesting drawing out of it. This idea here. We could got that one. Let me see the other one I have. We'll use this one here, I think. Right. So let's kind of start off. Let's start off with this post that we can't see that's over here in the corner, okay? So let's just all right. We're going to start off with that post right there. And we're not going to copy this drawing exactly. We're going to take a little bit of leeway, but I want to just show you this, okay? Then let's get the angle that let's fan this out, all right? So we're gonna fan this out this way. All right, let's establish where our next post is, and our next post is going to be right there. Now, using what we've just learned, let's make at least 2 more posts, okay? So find the center. Okay, there's one right there. Find the center. All right, so there you are. That's perfectly in perspective. I'm going to call that A and B, okay? So let's take A now and let's extend A up nice and high. All right? And then for this conversation right now, we'll just kind of extend B up, but we don't know how high we're going to make it quite yet. We're just going to push them all the way up there. And put a mark somewhere on A, and the height of A is totally up to you. You can just kind of this is how high your gate or your opening is going to be, okay? And it's up to you to decide on this. But this all has to go to the same vanishing point. So this is going in this direction. So we want to make sure that visually it's all going in the same, we're fanning it out just like that. This might even have to be a little bit more steep. In fact, there is a way to accurately do this. So would you like me? Let me show you. Let me show you that. All right. So if we take the height of A right here, and let's just double that. There it is. Okay. We've just doubled that. And let's just go with a half. So we'll go, that's about a half. You see that? See how I did that? Let me recolor this just a second. There's that length. I matched that. And then I just added a half a length right there. You see that? Let's come over here, and we're going to use this guy as a little bit of a guide. We'll call him C, a little bit of a guide. So let's do the same thing that we just did. So let's take this measurement. There's a double of it. You see that? So then all you have to do is connect those dots, and that's going to give you the right angle. Now, of course, we could erase this because we really don't need that. We were just using that for a bit of a measurement, so we know where that crosses over post B. That's the correct height for this thing to be in perspective. Now I'm just going, I only use this as a measurement, so I'm going to erase all of this. Okay, now we can just kind of use this as a guide to start to design this this post here, this gate. And you know, we can add a cross beam going across like this. There's that post right just like that. You see that? If I wanted to, I could find the halfway point and make a post there. Same thing over here, across a rail. Same thing, I could add another rail right here. Down here now I could add another rail. So this fence has 3 rails to it. Just now if we wanted to like make this look thick and add a second rail, see like this has 1 and then 2. Okay, that means we're going to have to kind of fan this out. This is going to go in the direction of the vanishing point that way, and this is going to go in that direction. And so these are going to want to fan out. So I'm just guesstimating. I'm guesstimating, and your eye is really good at guesstimating how that should converge back there. So I'm just going to come down just like that. This is going to come across. Here's my second post going up. Now, if I wanted to then send this back to that vanishing point, okay, so these are all going to converge. We can once again take halfway point right there per se. There's a halfway point. Take the halfway point again on that one. And then we could add some type of cross beam. And you could do the halves again and create another cross beam. Half again. Another cross beam there. Could do the other side the same thing. Find a halfway point, cross beam. Do it again up here, cross beam. This is going to be hidden a little bit. Okay. So this was, of course, 2-point perspective. We've got this stuff going back to vanishing point number 1, and then it's like, and then this is all going back to vanishing point number 2. It's this simple. It's this idea that if you were to draw a cube, you see, same idea. This is all going back to that vanishing point, and that's going back to that vanishing point. And we can add some tone here to help turn the corner a little bit. I think I'll do it this morning. Thanks for watching. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Have a great day. We will see you guys later. Bye-bye.